Okay, hello everyone. We are here today with the University of Pittsburgh for our virtual college exploration. I just wanted to first welcome you all for being here with us and thank you to our panelists. We appreciate you spending this time with us today. So for those of you who are not sure how this works, you can ask questions using the Q&A button to type your questions to the presenters at any time, but your camera and your microphone are off, just so you're aware. So you're muted and the panelists can't see you. You can sign up for more sessions. This is one of many college presentations that are being put on by NJACAC. So check out the schedule at njaacac.org/virtual fair. And the recording will be available at www.njaacac.org/virtual fair. So at this time, I'm going to stop sharing and turn it over to our panelists.
Thank you so much. My name is Dana Hassel. I am the regional representative for the state of New Jersey for the Office of Admissions and Financial Aid. And I do have a student with me. I'm not a twin. That is Erica. I just want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Erica Fisher. I am a senior at the University of Pittsburgh. My major is legal studies, which is weird considering I have to apply to law school soon. So that's a whole other issue in and of itself. I'm from Monroe Township, New Jersey, which is right smack in the middle of the state. If you guys are from Monroe or know where Monroe is, I'll probably like you a lot more. I'm just kidding. I like everyone the same. As much as I love New Jersey, if you guys have any questions on, how I came from New Jersey to Pittsburgh, I have a nice story for that. So I'd love to answer any questions like that as well. And some things that I'm involved with on campus. I'm a Pitt Panther, of course, but with the organizations that I'm in, I'm also a Pathfinder. So I am one of the student tour guides on campus. I am in a co-ed pre-law fraternity called Phi Alpha Delta. I am on the Pitt debate team. I'm also Jewish, so I'm involved within a couple of Jewish organizations on campus. And I have an off-campus internship. So I do a bunch of different things. If you guys have questions about anything I said or, just student life in general, that may not exactly be admissions related, I'd love to answer those as well.
Thank you so much. Now, right now, I'm going to share my screen. And Erica, if you could just give me a thumbs up when you see the Pitt scripted. Thank you so much. I'm going to talk about primarily the unscripted way that we are living right now, not only with college selection process, but in general. And so basically, we have taken this and made it our own platform for you to write your own unscripted future at the University of Pittsburgh. A little bit about me. I'm originally from Pittsburgh. I've been living in New Jersey for about 20 years now. I'm a double alum. So is my husband, and so is my daughter. So we have a lot of blue and gold in our household. But my goal and my role is to help you through the application process. And part of that is giving you an overall introduction to the university, but also to answer your questions as you move through the application process. One of the things that I do want to stress is that the city of Pittsburgh is a viable, vibrant city. However, we only have about 500,000 people, which makes it very accessible and very easy to navigate around. As you can see down at the bottom there, it says Pitt students, you can get around transportation free. As far as going downtown Pittsburgh, it is about 3 miles away from the campus. And so with that, you can get with your student ID, you can get around campus freely. and also explore the city of Pittsburgh. And because we don't have the same density of population as you do here in New Jersey, you can take advantage of restaurants, of the culture of the city. We have ballet, we have the orchestra, we have the theater, we have all kinds of things that you can take advantage of outside of the campus as well. And we also have a number of connections. We are corporate headquarters to a number of companies you may have heard of. I'm sure people are familiar with Heinz Ketchup. Heinz is from Pittsburgh, but we also have American Eagle Outfitters, and we have Google and Amazon satellites as well. And so we have those opportunities for you to take advantage of. And we've been on Triple D a couple of times, so we've been known to have some of the best cuisine around. So we have a lot of different things in order for you to take advantage of outside of your classroom studies. But we also have 3 other regional campuses that I just want to briefly introduce to you. The Bradford campus is about 3 hours north of the Pittsburgh campus, has about 1,200 students. For those of you who may be interested in a forensic science major, that you want to take a look at our Bradford campus. That is one of their premier programs. We also have forensic science at the Pittsburgh campus, but it is part of a broader program in our administration of justice. If you are solely interested in forensic science, I strongly urge you to look at Bradford. Again, about 1,200 students, and it's a typical park-like setting for students to get around in. Our Johnstown campus is the largest of our regional campuses. It's about an hour and a half away from Pittsburgh. It is nestled into the woods. It's a former ski chalet that we purchased. And those of you who are very much into wildlife and environmental studies would definitely admire the Johnstown campus. Again, 3,000 students roughly, and it's about an hour and a half, and it's the closest to New Jersey. Just 45 minutes away from us is the Pittsburgh campus. Now, I'm sorry, is the Greensburg campus from Pittsburgh. And it is about 1,200 students on that campus as well. It's more of a suburban campus, but the beauty of our 3 regional campuses is that they have academic programs that mirror the programs at the Pittsburgh campus. The Pittsburgh campus itself has just under 20,000 students, and we pride ourselves in stating that we are one institution with 4 locations. So just keep that in mind as part of your research and looking at all parts of the University of Pittsburgh. But one of the things that we really pride ourselves on is our student life. We have an extremely active student life, and I'm sure Erica will agree with me on that. One of the things that makes the University of Pittsburgh stand out is that we are an internationally top-ranked research institution, which means every single major has the opportunity for students to start or continue any research that they may have done in the past as early as your 2nd semester of enrollment. And so we would match you up with a faculty member who is engaged in the same type of research that you would be interested in, and you would work together in terms of finding that passion that you have for research. We have a number of different facilities around campus, including 6 teaching hospitals for those of you who are interested in health and health science area. Also, all of our students are guaranteed at least 1 internship, provided you will go through our internship training program before you graduate. If you are interested in the College of Business Administration, you'll probably get about 3 or 4 before you graduate. We also have a very distinctive honors college. And I say it's distinctive because we are one of the few non-Ivy League institutions that has been able to provide the prestigious Bachelor of Philosophy degree as part of our curriculum. And through the Honors College, which takes about 600 students per year, you would be able to receive that distinguished degree. It is slightly above a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science. And so for those of you who are interested in going on to graduate studies, that is something that would definitely make you far more competitive among other applicants going into the various programs. And we also have a study abroad program that reaches over 350 different sites in over 75 countries around the world. And even through the pandemic, we were able to maintain a viable and vibrant study abroad experience for our students who were interested in partaking in that program. We also have guaranteed housing for the first 3 years that you are on campus. The 4th year, you may want to explore other options off campus, but for those first 3 years, you would be able to choose between single, double, triple, quad suite, and apartment style living. So that does offer us a lot of living accommodations for you. Also, the living and learning communities. For those of you who like to live with other people with the same interest and also academic interests, you would be able to take advantage of that as well. Our Honors College has its own dormitory. That would also be an option for you. We have over 700 different clubs and organizations on campus, which leaves a lot of time for you to engage in making different connections, both personally, culturally, socially, whatever you would like to pursue. And if you do find something that you are interested in, but you don't quite see a club or an organization that would fall into that category, get together with 7 other like-minded students, find a faculty sponsor, and you can create your own club. For those of you who are sports-minded, we are a Division I sports school, so we do have a number of activities. For those of you who aren't Division I level athletes, we have competitive team sports, intramurals, and just people who hang around on the cathedral lawn. And so we do have athletic facilities in some of our dormitories, and we also have a main one, which we will be opening up as soon as it's safe to do so. Right now, they're on restricted use, and so that is first and foremost on our mind to maintain the safety and security of all the students, staff, and faculty on campus. And we also have a very distinguished and illustrious alumni network. We have over 300,000 alumni worldwide willing to help you in any way that we can through job opportunities, internships, mentorship, just to say hi and make those connections. Whenever you see someone, you would say, "Hail to Pitt, H2P," and I'm guaranteeing you will get a response from that. Everybody loves rankings, and one of my favorite rankings is the one right there in the center, the #1 public institution, university in the Northeast. And what that means is that the Wall Street Journal has taken into consideration not only our academic standings, our research, our internships, our honors program, but also our activities outside of the classroom. The ability to satisfy the students in terms of retention and also graduation, taking all of that into consideration. And we have once again been named the #1 public university in the Northeast. And so we are very proud of that distinction. We are also one of the top 10 colleges if you are interested in studying health sciences. With those 6 teaching hospitals right on campus, we can give you all the opportunities that you can imagine with research and internships. And of course, we are also proud of the fact that we are one of the 10 schools that's working on the coronavirus. Some of you may have done some research and seen that we have been lucky in that area before. Dr. Jonas Salk discovered the polio vaccine on the Pittsburgh campus, and we are hoping for lightning in a bottle one more time with the coronavirus. We also have a number of majors for you to choose. So if you are just falling in love with the Pittsburgh campus, but you're not sure what you want to do, that's fine. We have more than 100 majors, minors, and certificate programs for you to choose from in order to expand your passions. And one of the things that we do like to pride ourselves on as well is our student to teacher ratio, faculty to student ratio. It's 14:1, which means you can get to know your instructors, but more importantly, they can get to know you by first name. All the instructors do have office hours, but that doesn't mean you can't reach out to them at any other time for additional support and tutorials whenever you would need it. And you'll see some of our popular majors there, they're quite diverse. So it's not that we're locked into one particular program for you to study, but if you do decide to change your mind, we have so many other things for you to explore. So that makes it also a very attractive institution for those students who may be going out as undeclared majors. And again, those 6 teaching hospitals make it very convenient if you are interested in the health sciences. But the one thing I do want to point out that I feel is unique is our 20 graduate school guarantees. What those are the spots in our graduate schools would be held for you based on the hard work that you've done in high school, probably since 1st grade, in a number of areas. These are the areas where we have our guaranteed admissions. You would first, though, be reviewed by our admissions committee, and then students would then indicate if they are interested in receiving a guaranteed admission for one of these graduate schools. Now, in the process, we are also reviewing for your admission status. So that would remain intact. Even if you would not be granted one of these guaranteed admissions, you would still be a University of Pittsburgh student. This is considered one of our specialty programs, and you'll see there that we have quite a few to choose from. If you are granted admission through one of the guarantees, you would then go through your undergraduate curriculum with a set of criteria outlined by the individual programs, and then you would have that space held for you in the graduate school. However, it is not a binding program. So if you do change your mind, or if you don't want to pursue that particular program, that's fine. No harm there. The reverse is also true. If you are not admitted to one of these programs, this is not held against you should you apply for the graduate school later on after you're finished with your undergraduate work. It's just a nice way for us to reward you for all of your hard work so far. Now, we operate on rolling admissions. What that means is your application comes in, it is reviewed by our admissions committee, and then we get back to you with a decision. However, there are some programs that do have hard deadlines, and I'm just going to go over those right now. One of the things that's not on there that I did want to point out is that the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is now open. So for those of you who are interested in receiving any kind of scholarship funding, or if you just want to have your information on file so that we can do a financial aid package for you as part of your college selection process, please take the time to fill out the free application for federal student aid and have that information available as well. That opened up on October 1st, and that will remain open throughout the application process. If you are interested in the medical school guarantee as part of the graduate guarantees, that has a firm deadline of November 1st. We would need to have your completed application on file by November 1st in order for you to be considered for that program. December 1st, if you are interested in our honors college, we want to make sure that you have your file on your application on file by December 1st for that review as well. And any student who has a completed application on file by December 15th will automatically be reviewed for merit scholarships. Now, for the guaranteed programs, for the scholarship programs, and for our honors college, All students are first reviewed by the admissions committee for admission to the university. You may get one of those specialty programs, two, all three, or none. Regardless of whether you do receive any of the specialty program acceptances, you will still be a University of Pittsburgh student, and that is why we go through that process in that manner. And the last deadline there is January 15th. That's for a physician's assistant, but you're probably going to be applying for the Honors College, so you just shoot for that November 1st deadline, and you'll have yourself covered for all of the programs. Now, once you've decided which programs you are going to pursue, we also want to know what program of study you are interested in. And these are our 5 entry schools. The Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences is our largest. It's also test optional, and we have about 3,000 seats there. We're not looking at one particular aspect of your curriculum, but we also want to see what kind of trends, what kind of rigor you've had in your curriculum, whether you've taken a standard curriculum, honors, AP courses, what have you. And so all of that information will be taken into consideration across the board. We take, again, about 3,000 students into the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, and it's also the gateway to our upper level division programs, schools such as social work, health and rehabilitation sciences, pharmacy, education. So you would start off in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. Also, for those of you who aren't quite sure what you want to pursue yet, you would also start off in the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, where we have a fantastic group of advisors who work specifically with students to help them find their passion so that they can pursue the educational path that they would find. We also have the 4 other professional schools in business, engineering, computer science, and nursing. And these schools have considerably smaller seats available. So we do encourage students who may be interested in those particular areas to apply sooner so that they can be reviewed for their first choice school. Now, I'm going to start at the bottom because the School of Nursing is our only school that is not test optional. So those students who are interested in nursing but either haven't been able to secure a testing date or keep a testing site, we still want you to pursue your passion if you are interested in the School of Nursing. We will be working with competitive students who are interested, who have not been able to secure standardized test scores, so that you would be reviewed actually on an individual basis. So please don't let the fact that you have not been able to secure test scores deter you from going for the School of Nursing, if in fact that's what you are interested in. We take about 150 students into that program. We're looking for 3 strong years of laboratory science, one of which must be chemistry. So having all of those criteria will make you eligible for consideration for the School of Nursing. One important thing, and in addition to the fact that it is not test optional, is that if you are not accepted into the Pittsburgh campus for the School of Nursing, it is a locked program and that you would not be able to transfer in at the Pittsburgh campus at a later date. Earlier, I had mentioned our regional campuses. Our regional campuses do have nursing programs that you may consider if nursing is absolutely your passion. So that would be something that you would need to make note of as well. The School of Computing and Information takes about 200 students, and we're focusing in on your math component, how rigorous and how much math you've been able to take, pre-calculus, calculus, trigonometry, the highest available. And so with that 200 spots and a strong math performance will make you a very competitive student for the School of Computing and Information. The Swanson School of Engineering, we take about 550 students into that school. It is also test optional, as is the School of Computing and Information. We are looking for chemistry and physics as part of your curriculum for the Swanson School of Engineering. And with that, there's also the co-op component as part of the School of Engineering, which we may add a term, maybe two, depending on the length of your particular co-op experience. But it does give you the opportunity to take advantage of that as well. You do not need to know exactly what major within engineering. We just need to know that you are interested in engineering so that we can evaluate you for the Swanson School. And students who are not admitted initially into the school, Swanson School of Engineering, will be evaluated for entry into the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. And we have the College of Business Administration. We take about 350 students, 330, 350 into that school. Again, we're looking for a strong math component as your high school curriculum, but again, the highest you've taken. And again, the trends that you may have had. Are you taking AP honors courses as well? The College of Business Administration, the Swanson School of Engineering, the School of Computing and Information, along with the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, are all test optional schools. And we would only need to know initially which of the schools you will be interested in pursuing. As far as the application process itself, once you've decided which of the schools you are interested in, we would just ask you to rank your locations. If for a reason that we are not able to admit you at the Pittsburgh campus, we would like to match you up with your second or third choice. The ways to apply, we have 3 different platforms: the Common App, the Coalition App, and directly through our website. For those of you who are using the Common App, a couple of things that we would like to point out is that we do have our own self-reported academic record, a Pitt-specific one, that we will send you the link to that after you submit the Common App application. For those of you who may be submitting information over the weekend, we ask you to give us at least 72, if not 72 hours, if not a little longer. We get the bulk of our submissions over the weekend. But if you have not gotten that link and it's Wednesday afternoon, if you've submitted something on a Friday, you want to contact us so that we can check and make sure that everything is okay. And for those of you who are submitting test scores, except for those, if you're test optional, if you can submit those, either the ACT or the SAT. We will super score the SAT and we'll take your highest composite score for the ACT. Now, we also really want you to focus on your short answer questions for the essays, whether you're applying for any of the specialty programs, whether you want to be considered for scholarships, for honors. We want to find out as much about you as we possibly can. And the best way for us to do that is through the answers on your essay questions. Don't write to us with what you think we want to hear from you. We want to hear your authentic self. And so at least filling out one, definitely if you are applying for honors, there is a mandatory honors question that will be prompted. Scholarship, again, one question to be considered, but we really want to see 2 if you want, and also if you want to fill out more than that, or 4, that's great as well. So please take some time, consider your answers, and we look forward to getting those essays. Now, when we are reviewing applications, we have always had a holistic review process, which means we don't focus on one particular aspect and make a decision based on that. What we do look at first and foremost would be your grades. So any trends that you may have, again, the rigor of your curriculum, all of that is taken into consideration. If you want to address that in your essays, by all means, go ahead. You don't want to leave it up to our assumption about what may or may not have happened in a particular year. Maybe you moved in your sophomore year and you had some trouble adjusting. Maybe talk about that. Or you had a really strong mentor and you were able to get the best grades you've ever gotten in your junior year despite the pandemic. Absolutely write about that. Possible decisions, we may ask to see additional information. That's not a negative thing. That means that we are still very, very interested in looking at your application. You are still very competitive. And so we just want to see a little more. And so please don't consider that to be a negative perception on your application. One of the other possible decisions could be a regional campus. We have the regional campus because sometimes it's just a better fit, and that would be something that we would also have as a possible option. We also want you to consider about financial aid in terms of filling out the FAFSA and making sure that that's on file as well. And so these are all things to take into consideration when we're reviewing your application and making sure that the FAFSA is done for merit scholarship consideration. And once you've submitted the application, let us do what we do. You can take advantage of our virtual experiences that we have on campus through our virtual connections. That is the information in the website in the center of my contact information. You can also reach out to me. Once you've submitted your application, though, you will be able to monitor the status of your application as you're going through. And so I wanted to ask Erica if she had anything that she would like to add, not to put you on the spot there.
No, that's fine. I mean, in terms of admissions specifically, I've been on, recently at least, I've been on, both sides of it. I help admissions now that I'm here. And, I was also on the other side applying only a couple years ago. So I will say, they really, the admissions team really does look at everything holistically. Don't psych yourself out just because your SATs might not be what you necessarily wanted them to be. Or, again, if you had a bad grade for a marking period in a class, whatever the case might be, don't psych yourself out. The admissions team really does look at everything. And yeah, the essays are very important. I'm not sure if the essays are still optional. I know they were optional for me, but I can't stress enough how important those essays are. I know a lot of the Pitt admissions counselors, not only do they take a hard look at them, but they genuinely like to read them too. It could help. It's probably the biggest part of your application that actually gives insight into who you are. Especially with, I know a couple of the questions might have to do with, something that makes you stand out, or I haven't actually looked at, I know they changed the application questions from year to year sometimes. But if I'm correct, I know some of the more recent ones have been, identify something about you that makes you stand out, or, whatever the case might be. So I just say, don't take those kinds of questions for granted. Yeah.
Thank you. We did get a question about career opportunities and internships. We absolutely have internships. We have an internship prep program that allows students to, every student is guaranteed at least one internship before they graduate. And I believe, Erica, you took advantage of the internships? Oops, talk about that.
Yeah, sure. So my internship, even though it's not on Pitt's campus specifically, I did find out about it through the university, partially with the help of my pre-law organization and partially help with the Career Counseling Center. They do have something called the 100% Guaranteed Internship Program. So as long as you go through all the necessary steps that they tell you to do, so there's internship workshops, resume workshops. There are also online seminars and things like that. You are 100% guaranteed an internship. I didn't do the 100% guaranteed internship program, but I did go to their resume workshops. They have them at least once a month for like all day periods of time. They've been on Thursdays, just I think, but they will sit there with you. They'll tear up your resume. You know, they'll help you make it look nice. They'll help you maybe take out certain things that you don't need. You know, especially if you're a first year and you know you don't really have too much on your resume. That's different from what you did in high school. But because you want your resume to be more focused on what you did, at least once you're at college, you want it to be more focused on what you've done in college. So they'll help you clear up your resume and everything that you might need with that. And I didn't even know I work for the Abolitionist Law Center. They're a public interest law firm based in Pittsburgh. They're incredible. If you guys I'll plug them, just check out their work. They do really great pro bono legal service work. A lot of like community outreach and things like that too. So I didn't even know they existed before I came to college. And then when I found out that they did, I shot my shot and I applied for their internship, and I've been working for them for almost a year and a half. They're phenomenal. I can't emphasize how great they are. So yeah, it's definitely worthwhile to, take advantage of those things. It seems like, oh, you don't want to go to like a college career fair maybe now, or, when you're in college, you don't want to go to like one of those job fairs or internship fairs or anything, because, you think, oh, I would never be able to do any of those. I'm only a first year, but that's genuinely not the case. Regardless of if you're first year or if you're a senior like I am, you have opportunities simply by being a Pitt student and having that leverage.
Thank you. Any other questions? You can just put them in the chat. In the Q&A, and we will get to those. I think that one's for you, Erica.
Yeah, okay, so applying directly to graduate school. Okay, so my major is legal studies, and legal studies is actually not part of the arts and sciences school. It's part of something called the College of General Studies. So that's one of the schools that you don't apply into directly from high school for your first semester. But after a single semester, as long as you're doing fine in all your classes and you submit a formal application, let's say there's one of the majors within the College of General Studies that you want to focus on, you can apply and be like, I want to be a legal studies major specifically, or whatever the case might be, whichever discipline is within that school. When you do that, you have different opportunities through there. Honestly, the College of General Studies is a lot like the Arts and Sciences School. They just tend to focus on non-traditional students, but I'm a traditional student, and I had the same opportunities that anyone else would have in there, which is cool. In terms of, for specific like graduate schools, I know there is a guaranteed law program. So when you apply, you can apply for the guaranteed law program, guaranteed medical school program, and different things like that. And then specifically when you're applying to like a graduate school, you're not necessarily applying, you don't apply for like law school, let's say, until after you take your LSAT, after you take, usually when you're like a senior, whatever your last year is in law school. People take gap years all the time. So you don't necessarily apply, like when you're applying for undergrad, you're not also applying for law school, but we do have that guaranteed law program.
Yeah, thank you for that segue. So with the guarantees, you know what, I'm just gonna see if I can, this is going to be messy, but I don't care, I want to put it back. So those are all the different guaranteed admissions programs that we have available. And when you're filling out the application for admission to the university, there will be a question that asks, do you want to be considered for one of our guaranteed admissions programs? You would check off yes, and then all of these options would drop down. You can only pick one that you would be able to be considered for. And again, they range in criteria that you would need to qualify. For example, our most competitive one, as you could probably imagine, is the School of Medicine. we can probably get close to, if not more than 1,000 applicants for that particular program. And they only take anywhere between 10 and 12 people per year. It's a multi-level review process involving supplemental information as well as interviews before candidates are selected. On the other end of the range is our occupational therapy program. I'll just use that one for an example. Students who are admitted, remember you do have to be admitted first before we would refer you to any of the guaranteed programs. Students who are admitted to the university and have indicated that they want to pursue occupational therapy as a graduate opportunity would receive that opportunity just by being admitted to the university. And there's things all in between. So if you were to go on to our website and look up guaranteed admissions, you would see all these programs, and they would have the descriptor about the programs and the qualifying prerequisites that you would need. All of them are test optional with the exception of the nursing program. So I'm going to stop sharing for now. And were there any? You can take a minor in another school. For example, the College of Business Administration does not have minors within its program. So you would then, if you are interested in a minor, have to take that in another area. And most students take it through the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences. Some programs are not conducive to offering minors in other professional school programs. The School of Nursing does not have a minor, but also the School of Nursing's curriculum is so intense that there may not be opportunity for a minor, but we also have certificate programs that students can take advantage of in a variety of different areas across the campus. So that will be another way to get a focused, it's not as quite as intense as a major, but a focused point of knowledge about a particular subject. And that is listed on your transcript as well. It's not on your diploma, but it would be on your transcript for the certificate programs. These are great questions. Thank you.
Okay, if we don't have any more questions, I guess we can wrap up. I would like to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you to Dana and Erica for your participation today. Again, this presentation will be recorded or is being recorded and will be available on the njacac.org/virtual website. And we thank you for joining us. Please be sure to sign up for more visits for the rest of the week. And we wish you all well. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.